I think it's been a pretty good year. Disappointment that the Brexit situation has caused a bit of a hiatus with some of our legislation. Some of the drafting has been held up purely and simply because we've been inundated with the Brexit stuff. But no, it's a good year, and the abortion bill going through has been like the icing on the cake. I think really for me, I was very supportive of it and glad it's gone through. I'm a great believer in climate change, and I think in my manifesto I mentioned it. Um, what's happened is Brexit has sort of taken over, but there is a lot of work now going on about climate change, and I believe it's very important that the government uses more of a carrot than a stick to get people to come on board with climate change. And I think being in DEFA, we've been fully aware of this and we're implementing things. There's new building regulations coming up and we're tightening up a lot of stuff. There's a car share, and this is all stuff that we can do that won't actually cost the public any more money. I mean, car share is a no-brainer. It's been on the government website for many, many years, so we're reinvigorating that. And when I say carrot, it actually saves you half your money of your commuting costs, and it saves us half the carbon. So there's a lot of stuff going on about it. Well, I think that Brexit is going to give us some opportunities. When it's finally done and dusted, I mean, we've been watching and waiting and evaluating what is likely to happen. But of course, it's been delayed and delayed. But when that button is finally pressed, I think there's going to be opportunities that we can seize, and we should get out there and seize those opportunities. The Office of Fair Trading, believe it or not, affects everybody on the island. Everything you do can be traced back to the Office of Fair Trading. Weights and measures, if you go and buy a pound of carrots in one of the supermarkets, our guys have been there and checked the scales. If you go on the scales at the airport, our guys have probably been down there and checked the scales in the last 18 months or whatever. We make sure that the pint of beer you have is a full pint. If it's not up to that line, it's not a full pint. You can hand it back to the barman and one thing and another. So that's very popular for the officers to go and check that. We do debt counselling. We do competition regulation. We look very closely at the petrol prices. And people always moan about petrol price in the Isle of Man, but I can assure you we're getting a good deal. If you look at rural England, Dartmoor or Norfolk, in the middle of wilds of Norfolk or Scotland, Highlands, we're probably about 2 or 3 pence dearer. And that is because we have to transport it across the Irish Sea. Well, within DEFA, I get involved with the fishing and the forestry and various other things. The food and drink, of course, was my initial responsibility. And what a good story that is, a diversification of food and drink, and how successful the food and drink weekend has been in the Villa Marina. And again, we punch well above our weight with all the different things we offer. And Manx kippers and queenies and various other things. Manx meat, the grass-fed meat, is absolutely fantastic. 3 phone calls this morning before I came up here. Always very open. I work very well with Daphne. We work as a team together. Some people don't want to talk to me, they want to talk to Daph. And some people don't want to talk to Daph, they talk to me. And we work as a team. We very successfully got the Gradle water wheel refurbished, or it is being refurbished at this point in time. And that's a really nice little feather in the cap. And it's at no cost to Onken ratepayers. So, yeah, it's a good result. But that is Garth. It spills over into Onken. There's been some debate about the boundaries, but to get roughly 7,000 people in a constituent, which I think is the right number, and 2 MHKs within that constituency, I think if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It will be that you register. If you really don't want your organs to be donated, you opt out, and it's as simple as that. It's a soft opt out because if you haven't made your choices on the UK donor register, which we've got access to, they're quite happy that we can use it, and it avoids any duplication anywhere else. It's not going to cost the Isle of Man any money. You can register your wishes on there. Yes, I want to be a donor. You can even register which organs you want to donate. You can donate everything, or just your eyes, your kidneys, or your liver, or whatever. Very, very simply, and you can register on there. You can also opt out on there. If you don't want anything donated, or you don't want to be a donor, you can opt out. But the question will be asked of the relatives of somebody that's died will be slightly different. and it'll be, did you ever hear your relative say they didn't want to donate? And if the answer is no, we never heard that, then you will be the person will be a donor. The majority in favour, 90% of people were right behind it, and there were some very interesting personal stories.
Okay.
And it made me more determined to get it through. There was one or two people that sanctity of the human body and one thing and another were against it, but you always get that in any consultation. But it was good. We had it was well responded to consultation, and I'm just a bit sorry I couldn't get it through in this last bill. And that is the beauty of the Manx, the private members bill system in the Isle of Man is fantastic, because had that been Westminster, it would have gone into the bag, and if it was pulled out, then they would have had a private members bill. But here, you can put it down and it will go through, So I'm just disappointed it didn't go through quick enough.